I can see someone going, how does someone get married at 15? And isn't that a red flag from the beginning?
Yes. Yeah.
Tonight, we're looking back to the very start when Elizabeth Siders got married to Gary Jr. at the age of 15. A circuit court judge in West Virginia granted that marriage license back in 2008. Just 2 months later, the oldest victim in this case was born. Investigator Lisa Rontola digging deeper into the story.
Now 33, Elizabeth Siders faces 16 counts of endangering children after 16 kids were rescued from this Vinton County home. But nearly 20 years ago, she was a 15-year-old bride to her then 18-year-old husband, Gary Siders Jr., in Mason County, West Virginia. His parents, Gary Siders Sr. and Christina Siders, are also listed on the marriage license.
At the time, there was no age that minimum to marry in West Virginia.
Attorney Amanda Alexander practices family law in West Virginia. She tells me a 15-year-old could marry then with the consent of her parents.
Could the judge have stopped it?
The judge absolutely could have stopped this marriage.
But Alexander says the law did not state the court needed to investigate.
I would want to know the relationship between the two. I'd probably want to interview, or at least the point of guardian, I'd like them to interview the bride separately.
Fast forward another 15 years. Lawmakers in West Virginia introduced a new law to increase the minimum marriage age to 18, no exceptions. However, that's not what passed. Senators changed it to age 16 with parent and court consent. And the age gap between spouses should be no more than 4 years. Again, no requirement for a court investigation.
Should you be asking those questions as a court to make sure there's no victimization?
Absolutely.
And since the oldest victim in the Siders case was born after Elizabeth and Gary Jr.'s marriage when Elizabeth was 15, and the next victim was born when Elizabeth was 16, I asked investigators last week if Elizabeth was also a victim.
Did Elizabeth Sider birth any or all of these children, and is she a victim herself?
That is all still part of the ongoing investigation. At this time, we can't continue on that.
And that is where Alexander tells me she sees more cracks in the system.
Did she receive prenatal care as a minor? How many children did she have as a minor? Those are things that, did Job and Family Services look into it at that point so that we didn't get to a point where there were 16 children living in the basement.
On your side, I'm Chief Investigator Lisa Rontola.